Hi, my name is Senga Caro, and today we're going to be talking about Pluto in Aquarius, this next 200-year cycle that we're going through, and what does it mean? Raquel Spring is going to walk us through what it means in terms of how powerful this planet is. I mean, she uses a word that's even above the word transformation. It's metamorphosis. It means birth and death. Something dies completely and something else is born. So stay tuned for this. This is the second part in a 4-part series. In the last video, we talked about what the Aquarius age is. And in the next one, we're going to talk about our superhuman capabilities. That's right. So stay tuned. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the other side.
Everybody just wants to share their thing. I mean, that's why platforms like Facebook or Instagram, like they harp on that principle, but it's a principle that's emerging that everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to show their gifts because everybody has something to say. Everybody has something to offer. Yeah. We don't want to be in a mold anymore. Yeah. And so Pluto in Aquarius is another factor. I said there were two main factors of Aquarius coming in. The bigger one was the age of Aquarius.
2,000 years, yeah.
The age of Aquarius, it's a part of a much bigger energy and cycle coming in.
Brand new.
Pluto entering Aquarius is also a big deal because he is the slowest moving planet, and he only has this experience of coming into Aquarius every 250 years.
Whoa.
So it's a pretty big deal. Now,
deal.
When you look at this in the macrocosm and you look at the 2000 year that we are actually entering, and it's not a big deal, but you know, there's going to be many Pluto and Aquarius cycles, but it is a big deal because all the other planets, they move faster. So
wait, so it's lasting 200 years, the Pluto in Aquarius for right now? Or
no.
It happens every 200 years. So it'll happen a bunch of times.
Yes.
10 times.
So all the planets, so what happens is you can think of the planets in the solar system, and you can think of them as just basically moving in a orbit, in a sphere. Right. So they all have different speeds. So for example, and Pluto is the slowest one.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So because Pluto is the slowest one, anything he does is a big deal because it takes a long time for him to get to that part again of the cosmos. He also travels very slowly. So he's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years.
Okay.
And that is unusual of any planet.
Yeah.
Okay. The planets don't stay in signs for that long. And this is a really strong energy that is going to stay with us now.
20 years is a long time.
It is a long time. So all the planets, they also have their orbits, they have their cycles, they have their meanings and interpretations. And you can think of astrology as a computer program.
Totally.
You don't need to understand the computer program, but you can associate and understand that there is a pattern. Yeah. There is a result, right? Yeah. The how do you say
filter on your life?
The what?
It's like a filter on your life.
Absolutely, but it works with patterns. It works with cycles. It's very mathematical. Yeah. Astrology is very, very mathematical. And this is why we can predict. Even though I don't like that word. So Pluto entering Aquarius is an energy that is a powerful one, and it's synchronizing with this whole transition. So what does it mean when Pluto enters Aquarius? Remember how I said that all the 12 signs, they have different attributes to them. Right. When a planet enters a sign, it starts to receive those attributes. And then that planet is going to express itself with those attributes.
Like plaid. Like two colors blending.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So you get, the fastest moving planet, Mercury, and Mercury, it takes less than a year for Mercury to go all the way around. And Mercury, every time he goes into a new sign, he starts to express itself under the characteristics and traits of that sign.
Of that sign. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So you're going to start to notice those themes alive in the collective, people behaving more in that way. But the way that I see it is that it all belongs to a greater evolutionary pattern. So we go through stages, and these energies, they just bring the cycle and the filter for us to experience that moment. So Pluto is the fastest moving planet, and Pluto,
slowest moving,
slowest moving planet.
Right.
Thank you. The energy of Pluto is associated with transformation.
Wow.
And Pluto, if you know anything about Pluto in astrology,
Which I know.
You know that Pluto does not mess around. Pluto is the planet of complete transformation, because Pluto only has one desire alone, and that is to evolve. That is to transform. That is to experience metamorphosis.
Interesting.
Literally. And so Pluto is associated with the death and the rebirth.
Wow.
And whenever Pluto comes around in your chart for anything, or any time that you have a connection in your chart with Pluto, because this is something very personal that maybe you can be having, not me, you know? So every time that someone or a collective or a country or a new moon, we connect with Pluto, we touch into the energies of transformation on the most profound level of metamorphosis, complete destruction of the old and a rebirth of what emerges from that. So there is no end and there is no beginning with Pluto. I always say that Pluto is the planet of power. And I always say, if you did not die with Pluto, you're not going anywhere. Trust me, because Pluto is all about transcending what used to be and then emerging in greater power.
Wow.
So the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, this symbolized a time for humanity, when humanity was ready to transform and experience the metamorphosis that Pluto naturally carries, together with the energy of the rebel, the revolutionary, the innovative, the cosmic awakening. And I'll tell you what, 250 years ago, when Pluto entered Aquarius, this really, to me, symbolized the first few stages of the age of Aquarius coming in. So this was a very powerful event when this happened. It was only a few years later when the ruler Uranus was discovered as well. For those of you that understand a little more of astrology, I just spot these synchronicities and I'm like, wow, they're so alive and they're so conscious. And it's almost like they're all saying simultaneously, it's time. So what happens when they say it's time? They start to turn on and activate the little antennas of humanity, the little points of awareness that are able to assimilate that energy, receive the information.
So you're saying the last time Pluto was in Aquarius still, that we discovered Uranus?
It was around the same time.
When did Aquarius start though?
So, okay, so we're talking about Pluto entering Aquarius, and this is not the age of Aquarius. But I did say that was, in my opinion, when we are in this transition. We are not in the age of Aquarius. We are getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
So Pluto entering Aquarius in 250 years ago was the beginning of humanity saying, I'm ready for the new. I'm ready to know my higher self. I'm ready to break free from having to be told what to do.
Following.
Yes. Right. So that initiated, that was a catalyst for what in history we associated with the Industrial Revolution. Many different types of political revolutions started to really emerge around that time.
Interesting.
Okay. And really come into the picture strong because there was this movement of freedom.
Yeah. People
wanting to break free. At that same time, there were a lot of new inventions. Science started to pick up and discover new things, and lots of inventions started to come in around that time. And then it just started to accelerate.
Interesting.
Because we discovered Uranus, and then it just, look at where we're at today with cell phones and internets and.
Yeah, because that's like a totally shocking thing to be like, oh yeah, there's a whole nother planet, like,
And Uranus is like technology, right?
Yes.
I have a lot of it in my chart.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder. It's science. It's science, it's technology, you know, the energy of Aquarius and Uranus, they're all about the future. And so it is all about the futuristic, the innovative, the scientific, and where science meets reality. So we are more than ever now embracing this energy. And it first started to come in 250 years ago. And then now that Pluto is coming back into Aquarius, it's going to be a new version of this freedom, revolution. People are ready for more independence. This is where we start to see the different countries, different states in the countries starting to want more independence. And maybe not have to be part of the country anymore. Like you said, have more autonomy. Maybe have the states be responsible for their own, right?
Personalities or whatever.
That's one of the byproducts of it. And we may start seeing more than that, more of that. But it's more going to be like the people. The people are ready to say, no, I'm not going to just do it because I'm told to anymore. They're going to start questioning. They're going to start rebelling more. And the most important thing is that people are ready to tap into their authenticity.
Cool.
This is why so many people right now have been feeling so lost and without a purpose. This is where I want to comfort you. I work every day with clients. I do one-on-one sessions. I do collective work. I see this theme collectively in the world. And of course, in the astrology, there is a sense of feeling lost right now. There's a sense of not knowing where to go moving forward. Who am I? What do I do? This is because we cannot associate ourselves anymore with what used to be. And many of us are going through this transition where, you know, many people are still trying to identify themselves with the old model. And this is in all aspects of life, in work, in relationships, with families. But now we are ready to let go of all of that, like that metamorphosis that I was talking about, and really open up to just embracing a new beginning, embracing a new reality, where you get to live your voice, your truth, not because you have a list of things to choose from of what you want to do when you grow up and what you need to study for and what parents tell you to do. No, now this is why people are combining now so many different techniques, different modalities. It's all about the new and the original. This is where we're heading next.
That's so cool. You know, we're you know, it's so funny. I had like this crisis because I didn't realize. So I'm new to spirituality. I didn't realize there was more than one Buddha. Like Buddha is a description of someone that becomes self-realized themselves, you know? And so I didn't know. So we're all figuring out what type of Buddha we are, right? Because you can't copycat Jesus Christ or Buddha anymore. You got to like,
you have to
are
be
you
original.
Buddha? Are you not Buddha? You know, like, so this is so cool.
Spirituality is shifting, you know?
This is so cool. So like that. Well, first of all, I want to ask everyone that's watching today to go ahead and hit a like on this video if you're liking it. I want you to hit subscribe wherever you're watching this. This is like a vote for this kind of content. So please do that. And you know, I was just asking you if I could interview for you for our Purpose Lab. So LightNet, you know, we did the Contact Lab for many years where we help people make ET contact. Now we're inspired to help people find their purpose. And there's many ways to do it. It's Gene Keys, it's astrology, it's, you know, traveling the world, it's meditating. I don't know what we're going to find, but we're going to look for patterns. So just a little sneak peek of that. We're going to be working with the Holo movement on this. So it's a really fun project.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we just interviewed Bruce Lipton. And you guys, I also want you, you know, our LightNet on YouTube, you might want to subscribe also because we're going to be releasing a Linda Moulton Howe interview that's absolutely amazing. She talks about agape love. She talks about her entire career, sticking with it, like talk about a pioneer. And she also talks about the origins of the human race, but I can't give away any more, but that's coming up very soon. So I also want to invite people that are watching online to get into the Zoom room because pretty soon we're going to open it up to your questions. So to do that, it's lightnet.org/unlimited. where you can grab and get into the Zoom to ask Raquel questions. And if you want to go to the workshop, please become a member. We're calling them donor supporters. We're nonprofit, and for $8 a month, you're actually donating to collective wisdom, to software, to information being shared, and to predominantly hands-on workshops, because we want you guys to experience your own greatness, your own miraculousness. And that often happens when we do hands-on stuff. So
I
yeah.
just love what you do, Zink. I really do. I mean, it's just so Aquarius. Yeah. I'm like,
that's
the
cool.
biggest fan.
Well, it's not me. It's just like, I'm just filtering through the, whatever pattern I chose. We all jump through these patterns. I'm just playing the part and showing up. Thank God. But yeah, I was lost.
Someone's got to do it.
I was lost for most of my life. So I'm trying to make up for time. So is there anything you want to share, Raquel, before we go into Q&A?
Oh my gosh, it's already, we've already been here almost an hour.
Oh my gosh. So I want to let you guys know, if you're in the Zoom room, you can hit the reactions button. It's like the little happy face, and you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up to ask your question. You can also type it in, but I think it's better if you raise your hand, because we'd love to see your amazing face.
And I'm seeing someone asking here, would you please list Raquel's info that you put up? So yeah, we're going to put my info, the list over there.
Yeah, so we're sharing.
Or are you sharing in the YouTube?
Yeah, we did here as well, but I'm going to share it again. So we're sharing her website, her email, this bonus thing that she's offering.
Workshop on the eclipses.
And also the ability to book a session and get on your newsletter. So that's really cool.
I have. Yeah, there you're going to see a few lists of a few options of how you can connect with me, what you want to do, if you want to sign up for my newsletter and receive regular updates of these astrological energies.
Oh, wait. So yeah, I have a question, because now you've given us the pattern of 2000 and the pattern of the next 20 years. So what's the deal with these eclipses, and what's the deal with this month in particular?
I know. Wait, we don't have we have to wrap it up.
Oh no. Okay.
So I will share a minute about the eclipses, but just remember, if you want to know more, you can just email me and I'll send you the bonus of this video. Okay. So the eclipses really they're working together. Everything is connected. So even Pluto entering Aquarius is paving the way for the bigger revolution of 2000 years. So everything is connected. And so the eclipses are paving the way for Pluto entering Aquarius. And you see how everything is connected with like the bigger thing coming up. And so the eclipses of this month are a big energy. This is where we are really making that collective and individual transition of realizing that the old is not coming back. We are not going back to the old models. I've been waiting for this.
I always said, you gotta study teenagers, because they're not scared of change. They actually like it. So.
They do. Some adults too. And if you have a lot of Aquarius and especially Sagittarius, Aries, they love adventure and they love new. So it just depends on how you are, but it can be a little scary to look at the world and see that we are at the verge of such a big change.
Unknown.
I often think of like our parents and grandparents when the internet came out, and how it must have been such a big shock to them. How like all of a sudden from one day to the next,
right now,
everything went digital. The banks, the bank cards, and like our grandparents were like, what? Right? What's happening? I get a sense that it's going to be something like that, but much bigger. So technology, it's all good. And on the next workshop, I will give some dates. You talked about EP contact. Remind me, because there are certain dates next year where we can just pierce through the veil more. Where we're ready
about that.
Remind me, because there's so
okay, interesting. Yeah. For the investment of $8.88, you can be.
I shared this with my community, and I had someone from my newsletter write me back and said, Raquel, you made a mistake. You put $8 for that.
I know. We're
Like, did you mean 88? Did you mean 888? You made a mistake. I was like, no, that's how good of a deal it is.
I know. I have a big heart. I want this to be like available to everyone. Yeah, lightnet.org/join. We are probably going to raise our prices, but get in there now.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll go into more details there. So the eclipses are, speaking of, let go, stop being stubborn, let go. You are ready to let go of the old models, the old ideas, the old desires. There's a lot of people that are still trying to make certain things work. And it's not like relationships. Honestly, there's a lot of relationships that have served their purpose and have completed karmic patterns. Did you know, have you heard anybody already talk about the fact that we are closing an evolutionary process of having to go through karma?
What do you mean?
We don't need the new kids anymore, my dear.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
We have no option but to complete
the karma,
conclude the contracts. That's it. We don't need to keep coming another 500 years to work something out. We need to work it out now. And that's why things are so extreme, so intense. So the eclipses are, get over it. You are looking at a new reality that you are ready for. Let the old go, let the old relationships go, let the old models that don't work anymore, lifestyle, health, how you take care of your health, the foods you eat, even what we do for work, let that go.
Yeah. It's so hard because the known is even if it's bad, is like unknown. And so you're letting go of something, not knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
But usually, especially for spiritual people, you've made space for something better, and that's the thing. And it often comes pretty quickly if you're changing your energy enough. It's like it will literally give you space to get what your new energy is attracting. But if your closet is full, or if your life is full with not so great, there's no room for anything to come in.
Exactly. And this is where I also look at this time that we're going through as a time of decluttering.
Yeah.
So it's exactly that. We are making room for the new. So in light of that,
forgiveness.
Decluttering. Exactly.
That's
the decluttering. It's on all levels. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, and basically
it's
what we are decluttering.
Luggage is a good thing.
What?
Oh my gosh, 4 is my favorite number. So whoever in the chat, that's 4 in this flight, losing luggage. Yeah,
I am totally
it's like it's like your baggage type of thing. So it's just like I always say, like, take off your backpack, like forgive, because that is like Ram Dass talks about it. He's like, look, karmic, it's not like getting rid of karma is not anything but just being like, thank you so much. This is goodbye.
Yes.
I forgive you. You forgive me.
Exactly.
Like everything's cool. Let's not trigger each other.
Yes. I mean, that's why people are going through it so much right now. It's because they need to get to that place of just willingly understanding that it's time for them to close that chapter
with their job,
gain the wisdom from it, and then become more, tap into more. So a big tip that I like to leave people with, and I'd like to offer this to everybody here watching, listening, a big tip on how to declutter. Just one tip. There's many ways, but one tip is unplug from the system as much as you can, because the system right now that is blaring news and all this information of tragedy and fear and all of that is the same system that is crumbling.
Yeah.
It's the same system that we are outgrowing. Yeah. So in light of that, I want to invite you to make
your TV out the window.
Choice on where you're going to give your attention to, because attention equals energy.
Yeah.
What are you feeding? And this is where it's so helpful to find communities like what you have going on, and really start to engage more with people that are aware of the same reality, aware of the same concepts, aware of the same projects, and the new coming in. So disengaging and disconnecting from, I bet you have something good to say. Well, say it.
I was just gonna say, we need to have workshops where people practice saying no, like, hey, can you come over, like, or can you come out and do this thing? And you're like,
oh my God, that's so good.
Like practicing saying no.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd go,
because there's, like you said, there's this inertia that's dragging out the process and keeping us from that super fun life that feels better to us, because there's inertia, there's obligation, there's saying the right thing, doing what people want you to do instead of what you wanted, it's just like.
And you can look at it as even the inertia is part of the old cycle that we needed, because it was the baby step to understand that we have, we needed order and structure and to understand basic principles. So now we outgrew that. We've outgrown that. So it's okay to let that go. We don't need to stay stuck in the obvious chaos that is happening, because chaos is a very basic principle before we have evolution, before we have even enlightenment or a renaissance, right? A period of renaissance. So we are at a very real moment of chaos, but I call it transition. So don't feed into the old model of control, which is when we give attention, how dare, this is so terrible. And it's that same old energy, and we're just giving our power away. And instead use your time, your attention, your energy to be grateful that now we don't need to be one more following the rules. Now we have the opportunity to just have our own schedule, step into our own identity, our own voice. Relationship models are shifting. This is one of the big themes of eclipses. The eclipses that we were talking about, and I speak of more in the workshop video, is the model, our model of relationships are changing.
It's like when you get to know who you are and the power of you, what you're worth, the value of you, being able, and one of the very early steps was being able to trust in yourself when you said no, knowing the power behind the energy in no. Okay, you're protecting yourself, you're standing up for you. You no longer can tolerate all these limited perceptions out there. You know that there's so much more, and that's why you stand up for you. You say no, and you say it with mana, strength and energy, because you're protecting who you are now. Now you recognize this fantastic journey that all us energy beings are on. And it's absolutely fantastic. The power within being able to break the spell casting and know that you are worth so much more. The magic is just endless. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing today. And thank you, Zinka, for letting me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stone. We should do like a one-off workshop called the No workshop, and basically practice with each other. Great breakout.
Honestly, that is,
you have to rehearse, because you lose it. You chicken out.
Yeah, you do. And I want to add, there are two types of no's that we can work with, because one is the obvious no. There's one that is even deeper, where because of the programming and brainwashing, you actually think on the surface level, you think you want to do that. But if you actually stop and you meditate, and you really feel it, and this is also part of self-love. This is an even deeper part of self-love, is to really listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your true yes. And then practice. Sometimes we want to be nice. Sometimes we want to accommodate people, and we deny ourselves the gift of freedom to be able to say no when we want to say no to something. So I think practicing saying no is a deep spiritual practice.
You know, it was interesting. My boyfriend Adam said the other day that Pluto was also discovered here close to Lightnet in Sedona up in Flagstaff. And he also mentioned that, you know, the United States was born about 200 years ago. So this is truly a revolution of sorts. And the US is a country of revolution, of independent thinking. So this is going to feel right at home with the Pluto Aquarius energies that were happening now. We'll see you in a couple weeks during our workshop with Raquel on the 26th of October. Go to lightnet.org/join and we will see you there.